Absolutely silly.
Shay.
Well, if they do beat Washington, their next two opponents are Arizona and New England, two teams that I imagine the Bears would be favored over in both scenarios, even with the Arizona game being in the desert. Shot or no shot? When the Bears host the Packers in a month, they're going to be 7-2.
That's a no shot.
Yeah, I'm going to say no shot. There's going to be a loss somewhere, whether that's Washington. They're going to lose a game where you're like, how'd they lose that game?
7-2. Now, let's think about it now. If we feel like the Bears could beat Washington, in Phoenix, it's going to be a pro-Bears crowd.
Yep.
Like 75% Bears, because you probably have friends, and I know I got family that's going to Phoenix, to Glendale, to see the Bears beat the Cardinals, or at least try to. But then there's the Patriots, who are just putrid. Even though I'm a Drake May guy, they're just not ready for the infrastructure around Drake May. I think he can be something. I'll hold on to that, Shay. Like, out of the draft, I really like Drake May, but I don't think they're ready yet. So 7-2.
Like, I feel like 6-3 is more realistic, but you know me, I'm a just get to 1-0 each game week.
So a loss against the Cardinals.
I'm not saying that.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's got to be one of the three.
They could lose to Washington.
Could. What is it now? Are the Commanders favored, Shay?
Don't have a point spread on that yet. I was checking this morning.
Nothing yet.
Without Jonathan Allen and with how good this Bears defense is, I do think there's a chance the Bears are short road favorites there.
I don't. Maybe when it closes, but I don't think the opening line.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the opening line is going to be what? Bears plus 1.5?
That sounds right. This matchup predictor didn't tell you anything on ESPN. It's not accurate. It's got Washington 52% of the.
So that's a pick 'em basically, because they'll line them both at minus 110.
Mm-hmm. So I would say that there's, 7-2, Cap. There's a shot there when you think about it, but you got to get past Washington first.
So this says that you can bet it on DraftKings right now.
I can.
The best odds available today for Chicago is on DraftKings, Chicago -2.
What'd I say?
And Washington plus 2.5 at Caesars is the best you'll find there.
I mean, it's what we talked about yesterday. The Bears, for the last 3 weeks, are top 10 in both offense and defense. And Washington, great on offense. Their defense is horrible.
My brother and I were talking about this. I would like someone to tell me what they were looking at all weekend when the line moved from Bears 2.5 over the Jags to the Bears getting 1.5. Like, what were people looking at?
I don't know.
I think it was probably the defensive injuries for the Bears and the fact that the Jags had been there, done that, and the Bears were going over to London with a rookie quarterback would be my guess.
I did talk to a friend of mine who this is what he does for a living, and he said Evan Ingram was a big factor being back in the game, so the sharp money was coming in on Jacksonville.
And Ingram delivered.
So
Ingram delivered.
He was great.
He hit a fine game.
He had an excellent game.
Except they kept turning the ball over and shooting themselves in the foot with penalties.
Yeah.
They looked like the old Bears, Jacksonville.
We kept hearing holding defense, number 28, 5-yard penalty automatic, first up. What?
That's good when the team helps you.
Yes.
If you're struggling offensively, or if you're sputtering, not struggling, but if you're sputtering a little bit, penalties will help. Just throw it up. You'll never know what happens.
Yeah.
So